Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 79. Today's date is January 24th, 2020, and I am Duds, or Duds Versus, known to the rest of the interweb.
And I am Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So how's your week been so far, Duds?
Rough.
Another one? Another rough week?
Another rough week. So, putting out the traps, trying to find this mouse from last week, right?
Oh, yeah.
No luck all week. Going, what the heck? Not getting it. And finally, as my last ditch effort, I got rid of the fancy bait that I purchased. This gel that was supposed to aromatize the air and lure the mouse into the trap. Nah, forget that. I went and grabbed a slab of peanut butter, threw it on the trap, put it to the side. Got that mouse in one night.
Ah, the old peanut butter trick.
Yeah, could not resist peanut butter. And remember, I've got like 5 or 6 traps around the house because I'm not really sure where it's at. It turns out it's in my office, which freaks me out. I'm very much a clean person. I don't like dirty stuff. So the fact that it chose to live in my office is very confusing, and also means this whole house is getting a spray down. This is one of the things me and my roommate worked on this weekend, was cleaning up, sweeping all the floors, mopping all the floors, spraying anti-disinfectant, all that kind of stuff everywhere. Clean. Because I don't want to touch surfaces. That's how much this freaks me out. So far, we only caught the one. The other traps are empty, and they've been empty for days. So I'm just assuming it was the one mouse.
Yeah, you never know. Could have buddies.
Never know, could have buddies. That's why we kept the traps out for a couple days to make sure it's just that one guy. But hopefully I sleep better now, knowing that nothing's around in my house.
Yeah, that helps getting rid of one at least.
Like I said, I don't think there's any more. I think our traps would have caught any more if there was some.
That's good.
Also, on an episode, I went back to the shopping district. Worked on the pathways in there. I think I did a pretty good job. I threw up a couple custom trees, did a little bit of terrain fixing. It looks a little bit more advanced. Again, I'd like some more people to be able to just jump on and connect pathways leading to their shops and stuff.
Yeah.
Took a little bit of my week. It wasn't a very busy recording week. Like I said, I've started working out again. I took the month of December off, started back in January, which usually leaves me during the week. I only have about an hour or so during the week to really play or stuff like that. So not a lot of work got done then. Saturday, Carl let me know that my map district was done. So I tried to make a full black map to cover the blue cyan wool and my piglin drop that is sticking out of the wall because it looks weird. I put the black map up, forgetting that the item frame texture on the side would not be black.
Oh no.
So now there's there's a little tan strip on there. I was like, oh wait, I can make item frames invisible and then put the map on there. So I did that, except now you can see the cyan through that same side. So it was like, oh no, I did not think this through.
It's a lot of work to make a black map.
Yeah, I spent 3.5 hours laying down black carpet. And it didn't solve my problem at all. Other than that, I fixed the leak in my base, as I call it. The one spot where I've let water come through the dome so I can get in and out of the dome.
Yeah.
That's gone. I now have real elevators up and down. So that's nice. All this is in an episode that will go out tomorrow, or would have come out Monday for everybody. I actually rendered that this morning. I woke up early, came in the office, and made sure it rendered before we did the podcast. And other than that, I worked a little bit on my Twitch. That's slow going because I'm wanting to not necessarily rebrand, but new colors, new logo, stuff like that. Just kind of, I don't know, modernize it if that's the case. I've used the same logos and colors and all that theming for 2 or so years now. It's been a little time to update it a bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of it from my week. How about you? What have you been doing this week?
I've also been doing a little bit of recording. Wasn't able to get the episode out this week like I wanted to. I haven't been playing as much, but I did get on there this week, and I got like 8 minutes recorded or something like that in my episode.
Nice.
And The reason is I'm making my own auto storage system.
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't easy to make by yourself.
Nope.
Last year I used the Tango Tech design that sorted everything for me, and mixed with the Impulse SV bulk storage. I'm going to do something similar this season, except I'm going to have more chests. And I went ahead and tried to do my own auto storage system. I thought I was like getting somewhere and then realized I wasn't. So I went ahead and started with the Impulse SV bulk storage for now. And if I think of anything, I'll go back to the auto sorting part.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't come up with anything, I'm just going to use the Tango Tech design. It fits in there perfect, and it should look good by the time it's done. But I just had to go ahead, run my big mouth, and say I'm going to do my own redstone. So I at least got to give it honest attempt. Try to do it myself. I got the idea. It's just running the redstone. And if I'm going to run redstone, it's probably going to be everywhere. Probably going to be sloppy. It's going to be bulky, and it probably won't even fit. But I'm still trying it. I have some things in my auto test or my redstone world that's going right now, and it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. So that's kind of been holding me up. But that'll be my next episode. Should be able to explain all that then.
Yeah.
But I did end up getting new speakers for my computer. Got some Bose, the $99 Bose speakers, really popular nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Great sound quality.
Awesome.
My speakers I bought broke. I bought the same kind of speakers because they fit perfect with my setup.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was perfect. So I bought them again and they broke again. I'm not, fool me once, shame on me. Or how's that go? Fool me once, shame on you. I don't know. But it fooled me twice. And I went for a new, better brand.
Yeah. It's fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you or something.
Yeah.
No, it's the other way.
Wasn't too sure how that went, but
No, it's the other way.
I figured it was the other way.
It's too early to be thinking about this stuff.
That's why I stopped. I know I got fooled twice. That was it. I wasn't going to explain it. But yeah, I got some new speakers. I got some other things coming in for the setup. I do want to change my setup from a Naruto theme to a Raiders theme.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have some memorabilia I like to put up. And it should go well with my setup.
Nice.
That's how my week went.
Yeah, very slow week. Kind of goes with me talking about the pre-show about how there's slow content on YouTube too.
Yeah.
It's like, I wish there was more. I'm looking for more. I wish I could put more time into making more content myself. Life gets in the way for everyone.
Yeah, I'm thinking to expand from Minecraft a little bit, do another series, just to avoid burnout.
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, my base is so big, it's kind of burning me out a little bit. I get back in there. I got to make a storage system that I have to make up myself.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it can burn you out a little bit. So might switch it up a little bit and do some other series.
Yeah. What games do you plan on doing a series for?
Mainly survival. 7 days, raft, and scrap mechanic. Possibly scrap mechanic.
That's what I was looking for.
Waiting on that.
Anyways, let's get to what everyone is here to listen about, and that's the news, because we have news this week. There was a new snapshot.
Yeah, pretty good one.
Yeah, snapshot 21W03A. Those numbers and letters don't get easier to read every time. They've added the Glow Lichen and Glow Squid. Seems like we're going to be getting some new light sources, right? Right?
Sorta.
Would you like to go ahead and talk about the Glow Lichen?
Yeah, the Glow Lichen is a dim light source that generates in caves. Use shears to pick it up. Use bone meal to spread it along block surfaces. Now, these are blocks that are adjacent to the one you're bone mealing.
Yeah, and it doesn't look the greatest. It's a passable style, I'm going to say block, even though it's not a block. It basically is just a weirdly colored vine from what I can see in the pictures and stuff. Light level doesn't get above 7, though.
Yeah.
So you can't use it to stop mob spawning,
Mm-mm.
which to me basically makes this useless unless you live on a mushroom island.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be fun to play with the lighting and stuff, but a lot of places you can't afford to play with it. You know,
Right.
it's hardly noticeable except for that glow. I mean, you can't really notice it that much.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it's kind of transparent. You can't really, it doesn't interact with the player besides its hitbox, but you can pass right through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's going to be the theme of this is just the letdown, because one thing we've been clamoring for is new light sources, and we got excited when we got candles. But even candles only go to a light level of 12, which is not great. It's not bad, but it's not great. And then we got the Glow Squid, so we're like, yay, more light sources. And then we got this Glow Lichen, we're like, yay, more light sources. Now we're seeing Glow Lichen doesn't really produce much light, which kind of stinks, and brings us to Glow Squids. I'm going to go over the Glow Squids before I talk about me bundling them.
One thing to mention is at least we got something out of the Glow Squid.
This is true.
Instead of getting just ink, which some people speculated we might just get ink just like the regular one. So we're kind of getting something different at least.
So Glow Squids have been added to the game, but they don't spawn naturally. You got to go into the creative menu and find the spawn egg, and then you can spawn Glow Squids, which their texture is very good texture. I love looking at the Glow Squids.
Mm-hmm.
Glow Squids are well lit and can be seen from very far distance. Don't understand their wording on there. I had to change it to fit my words. When killed, Glow Squids drop glow ink sacs. Glow ink sacs can be used on signs to make text super visible, even at night. Works with colors. You can craft a glow item frame by combining a glow ink sac with an item frame in a crafting table. Any item in a glow item frame is perfectly illuminated even at night. Use an ink sac on a sign to remove the glow effect. Axolotls will attack any glow squids they see, so be very careful.
Ooh.
The item frame, the glowing item frame, to me is really cool.
Yeah.
From what I can tell, though, it does not produce any light.
Right.
It's just illuminates the sign itself. So you can't make a glow item frame and it shine in a hallway and light up your hallway. That doesn't work.
Yeah, these aren't light sources. They're just the glowing effect.
Correct.
Which is going to be very useful.
That's where I kind of get let down because I was extremely excited, hoping that we'd be able to craft these crazy nice light sources, and we can't. I'm not saying what they've done is bad. I like the idea of the glowing item frame. I think that's going to be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
The glow ink on the signs to make the signs brighter, to me, just feels like a way to get around bad texture, because we've all seen it. If you try to make a dark oak sign, the first thing you do is you go grab a white dye on the sign because you can't read the text unless it's that super bright white.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel this was just a way to kind of make up for missing on that.
Yeah, it's almost like a neon. It changes it to like a neon glowing color.
Yeah.
I like it.
And if that's the case, I'd like to be able to add glow, the glow ink, to any dye and make a neon dye.
Yeah.
So you could have that effect on anything.
Mm.
How cool would that be to have neon terracotta?
Oh, yeah.
You see all these people building cyberpunk builds and don't really have any kind of neon coloring. Here we go.
Yeah, some of them you can call neon. I guess they are bright enough, but yeah, you don't get the full neon effect.
What about changes?
Yeah, we got quite a few of those. Dripstone blocks can be crafted from 4 pointed dripstone. Couple bug fixes. Mobs suffocate / go through blocks when growing up near a solid block. And mobs cannot spawn in dripstone caves. Now this last one.
Mm-hmm.
Did they fix that, or is that the way it's supposed to be with the dripstone caves?
I think that's a fix. So mobs can spawn in dripstone caves now.
Oh, I was hoping to be like a safe haven.
I know, right?
That's what I was hoping.
And we're obviously going to be talking about light sources later. And I think the root to all of Mojang's light sources or light source problems revolves around mob spawning. And it's like, I get it's a very fundamental part of the game, But for people who are playing for over a year on a single world, we need some kind of in-game to fix the mob spawning issue where we don't have to constantly spam torches everywhere, where we don't have to constantly hide lighting behind a piece of carpet or a trapdoor or something. We keep hearing they want you to use your creativity to get around these obstacles, and I hate that. It feels like it's just a reason not to do something instead of, well, I need Mojang to use their creativity to get around this obstacle.
It's definitely meant to be an obstacle, trying to light up everything and trying to get everything mob proof as it is. That's definitely an obstacle as it is. I had another point and now it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way the show's feeling like it's going today. It's every time I try to think about something, it just pops right out of my head. And I can't put two cohesive thoughts together in one phrase.
Yeah, once I think of something new, the other one's gone. It's gone. If I have something in my head and I'm like, oh, what about this? The other thought, see ya. It's gone.
It's such a lack of sleep this week. It's really starting to physically hurt me.
Yeah, sleep helps.
I don't know, and it doesn't help 117 wasn't an update I've really been looking forward to. To me, it's going to be what Bees and Bugs was for you. It's just a passing update. It is what it is. It doesn't matter. It's coming to the point where 117, the one thing I'm looking forward to more than anything is dripstone lava sources. It's like, that's like one of the smallest parts of the update, but that's the part I'm most excited for. Every time I build a farm, I need a lava source for my overflow, and I get sick and tired of having to walk all the way to the nether, find a lava pool I don't want to make look stupid with the flowing. You know what I'm talking about. Every time you go, you dip your bucket in lava. Now you got this weird little patch of lava that never refills. It's like, well, I don't want to do that where I'm constantly seeing it because this area, the nether looks good. Why would I want to make it look bad by stealing lava in this spot? So I've got to hunt down a random spot I'll never see again to steal lava from.
Or go thousands of blocks away to get a bucket of lava.
Right? It's like, oh, why would I do that?
Most people don't. They just grab a bucket.
Yeah, they're not like me. They're not weird like me.
No.
I don't know. I'd like to see more Warden. I'd like to see more of the Deep Dark. That's kind of the only other thing I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes out of it. I think that area, for me, at least, I explore it one time and then I'm done. Unless there's a nice loot reward down there.
Yeah.
Which I kind of doubt. We're seeing this time and time again. The end game loot is not great. Right now, I feel end cities are the best loot just because the shulker box is in Elytra. They do have quite a bit of diamond gear in there, which is nice for backup.
With mending on them.
With mending on them. So I'd like to see that kind of loot make its way into the Deep Dark.
I have a speculation. I think it would be cool if they made a new specific music disc for the Deep Dark. Kind of like how Bastions have Pig Step.
Yeah.
It'd be nice for them to come out with a new disc for the Deep Dark, just so you can get that one unique item from there that you can't get anywhere else to make it worth going down in there, or other items. A disc I'd be okay with that if it sounded good.
Yeah.
It is hard to compete with Pig Step.
Would it be a creepy disc?
What would the Warden, what would his music be like?
Banjo.
Yeah, well, you think, I don't know, being a warden, like a cop, sheriff type of, that's what you think of. Maybe you get like a Western disc.
Yeah, I would go more creepy and hauntingly. And is hauntingly a word? Hauntingly?
It is now.
It's a word now.
It's a word now.
Easy like Sunday morning, fools.
Are we making up words now?
That's the way the brain works, man.
Yeah, it could be something like that. You have those discs, and I don't feel like they're all that useful. You know, those like haunted sound discs.
Yeah.
I like something with a little bit of beat.
I do too. I don't use music discs at all, and I think it's a shame. I would love to be able to have a machine that could cycle through music discs, though, so you could have lots of music playing at your base at all times.
Yeah.
I think that would be great, but you can't do that. It's one at a time still. And I kind of hate that.
Yeah. we're kind of moving off topic a little bit.
Well, I didn't want to talk bad about Glow Squid and Glow Lichen because I don't think what they've come out with is bad. I think it's very fine. I think I got my expectations too high, and it was my fault, hoping for more light sources.
Mm-hmm.
And just to find out there are no new light sources. Well, there is in Glow Lichen, but it's so dim. It's not gonna have a lot of uses. It's not the prettiest.
Yeah, I do like the fact that they give us a dim source, which isn't all that great, but it's used in multiple different ways. With the signs and the lettering and the item frames. At least you could do that.
Well, I mean, that's glow ink. Glow ink produces no light.
Yeah, glowing.
There's no light coming off that source.
Right. It's not like a light source, but it gives you something else besides a light source.
Yeah.
That could be upsetting.
Like I said, the glow ink, I'm not disappointed in. I got my hopes a little too high.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at it, being able to do the item frames to me is huge, and I will fully take advantage of that. The glow lichen is what I'm disappointed in.
Okay.
Why light level 7? Why not at least 10?
Or 8. Even 8's non-spawnable, but yeah, it's all spawnable. But you think there is a hitbox, maybe nothing can spawn on it, kind of like a carpet. But like a carpet, you actually go up a pixel.
Yeah.
When walking on it. This, you kind of walk through it, so it's probably spawnable.
Unless I give it the what I call the quote-unquote redstone tag that stops or mobs from spawning on top of it.
Yeah.
That'd be the only thing you could really do.
Yeah, it's true.
Thinking about lichen, it'd be kind of cool if it pulsed. So if the light source was pulsing, we kind of have that with candles, right? We saw that in the trailer for Minecon. The candle light isn't necessarily a sturdy light. Now, I want to say the light sources, when you're counting out how far away you need to be to have a light level of such and such, that stays the same, but visually the light source kind of flickers a little bit. How cool would it be if glow lichen kind of pulsed? I think that's a thing in real life. I'm not sure. I got to look up more glow lichen stuff in real life to see if anything would transfer over.
Yeah, I didn't know glow lichen was a real thing. But yeah, you think it doesn't give you, the light source that you want, at least not in our case.
No.
Yeah, it'd be cool to give it a little animation, even if it did pulse. I mean, you're not getting the light level you want anyway, so you might as well give it that animation.
Yeah.
Like maybe it goes to 7 to 4 and just slightly pulses that way.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to make it stop spawns, give it some kind of cool effect at least. It might find a new life somewhere else, because obviously we're not going to be using it to light areas up.
No.
Unless you're on a mushroom biome, then disregard all of this and go ham.
There is a cool thing that the glow lichen does is you can actually put a bunch in one block.
That's true.
To where you can actually hit the corners.
Mm-hmm.
And technically they're in the same block, but that one block you can fit lichen on all the sides.
Yeah.
In one block area. So that's a cool feature.
And you're right, that's super cool. And I wished that doing that would amplify the light value.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, you could put glow lichen on 6 sides of an air block, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine timing that 7 by 6, and that's your new light value coming out of that block.
Mm.
How crazy would that be? It would be the most powerful light source in the game at that point.
Yeah, I think we're on to something.
And I mean, this is a snapshot. Things are going to change. I don't like the light value of 7. I kind of wish it was a little higher. But then again, Soulfire and stuff sits at 10. And to me, that's not very useful either. Unless you're trying to play with dark lighting and stuff.
Yeah, candles, if you stack them in one area, you get more light as you add a candle. You think it would work with the lichens also, if you stack them in one block.
Well, yeah, there's a precedent. So like sea pickles, candles, maybe glow lichen could do something like that. It'd be very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd like to see that. Good idea.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on. We do have a listener comment this week. The comment says, anyone else think Mojang is going to do something more with crystals? I feel like there is a huge opportunity for that. Spyglass is okay, but maybe a blank. Any ideas? And this is from Havoc71 on our Discord. And this whole episode is going around light sources. I want new light sources. Please, give me something.
Well, I was thinking about crystals, and I looked these up a while ago, different crystals and stuff. Quartz crystal is probably the most popular crystal, and that's actually what they look like in the game, is a quartz crystal.
Mm-hmm.
But we have quartz in the game already. We already have quartz.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I don't know, that kind of conflicts with everything. The quartz crystal will help your watch run, which probably what gives us the daylight sensors from the quartz.
Mm-hmm.
You figure these crystals could be able to use that same function for like daylight sensors or stuff like that. Because I feel like the quartz were supposed to be crystals in the nether, and now we have crystals. So it's kind of conflicting each other. Just a thought I had.
Yeah. For me, if they're going to do anything with daylight sensors, it's fix the daylight sensors.
Yeah.
Why is the night cycle so much different than the daylight cycle? And they don't work like you would think they work, which is a little weird. And maybe that's just my own fault for not fully understanding daylight sensors. But when you're on the outside looking in, you would think a daylight sensor, oh, it's nighttime. Turn the night sensor on and light turns on, and it's daytime and turns off. And it doesn't do that. It puts out a certain redstone signal. And I just remember going back to last season trying to build a clock that did both daylight and nighttime. And the fact that the redstone signal length varied greatly depending on day or night was a little weird. So, I don't know. I don't know if maybe moon cycles have anything to do with that. I know ZF has built a much better version than mine. I don't know how accurate his is, but to me, fix daylight sensors before anything else.
This is the first year I've actually messed with daylight sensors, and they confused the crap out of me just the first time I used it.
They're rough.
You noticed, at least this season, I've noticed that there's not just a night and day cycle. There's, like all through the day, this thing gets a different signal length. And, we know that because of Decoy's self-playing piano. It goes off all the time when it's just daytime.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the timing throughout the day. It's going to hit a new pulse. So, yeah, it's definitely different ways it works.
Yeah, you would think that would work out great in building a redstone clock.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously different times of day puts out different redstone signals, which means you could appropriately put a clock, but it doesn't move proportionately, which is very weird.
Now, what if you used the crystals instead of the quartz to make a daylight sensor, and it worked the way you wanted it to work?
Then to me, the daylight sensors are still broken, but now we have a new daylight sensor.
Yeah, you'd have two.
I would stay away from daylight sensors. If they're doing anything with those, fix the old one we have now, or at least make it more intuitive to use. Because it feels like you got to break down and see the code to really fully understand how these things work.
Yeah.
And again, this could be me just being dumb.
Now, we started talking about daylight sensors, but the question was, is there any other item you could use these crystals for? We have the spyglass, like they mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
There's the tinted glass you can use it for. I expect more.
Yes.
With the crystals. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what else there would be that could really change the game.
I've got two ideas.
Okay.
One is a mirror block, and I get there are limitations to this game, and this probably exceeds the limitations, at least for now. I think there's some RTX that has the ability to do this.
Yeah.
But if we could create a mirrored block using the crystals, that would be really cool. And also creating a new light source by maybe surrounding a beacon with crystals could amplify, because beacon right now is one of the brightest light sources in the game at light level 15.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine amplifying that using crystals that could produce maybe twice as much. Maybe it goes to 30. Maybe it just does 5 more. I don't know. But like I said, the whole theme for this episode's light sources, I think that's something that's very underestimated and I think should be taken a look at. We've got a couple in the Nether update. We're getting a couple this time. I don't think it solves what people are looking for.
Probably not.
Probably not. But yeah, thanks for that, Havoc71. That comment was for our Discord, and our Discord is the only place where you can talk to everyone who works in the show easily. Just take Highland Lion's word for it.
Hi everyone, I'm Highland Lion. If you've been thinking about joining the Discord for a while, now is a great time to get involved. It's the best place to share your ideas for future podcast topics, take part in our Mending Minecraft vote, and share your Minecraft builds with the community. Join today by following the link in the show notes.
Thanks for the Discord ad, Highland Lion. Speaking of the Discord, it's the only place you can get involved in our Mending Minecraft vote. Man, Carl, we need to work. that sounded very weird coming out of my mouth. New script, if you guys haven't been able to tell. So, work in progress. This week, we asked you guys to choose one of 3 structures. The structures were the Swamp Hunt, Ruined Portal, or Pillager Outpost.
And the winner of Mending Minecraft vote this week is... Swamp Hut. Carl did me a big favor in putting the vote tally down.
Nice.
So he's got that going for him.
GG, Carl.
The Swamp Hut had 38 votes. Ruined Portal with 8, and Pillager Outpost with 11. That's a landslide.
Not even close.
Yeah, pretty much took off. I got a few things on the Swamp Huts. They were originally witch huts, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Swamp huts are generated structures that have the ability to spawn witches and black cats. They generate rarely in swamp biomes. The inside of a swamp hut consists of an empty cauldron, a crafting table, and a flower pot with a red mushroom in it. In Bedrock Edition, the cauldron generates with a random potion inside of it in random amounts. These potions include swiftness, slowness, weakness, healing, and poison. Water breathing, fire resistance, night vision, and harming have a rare chance of being spawned, and rarely the cauldron may contain a splash potion. That's pretty cool.
It's very cool.
Didn't know all that about the Bedrock.
Yeah. The one thing that I think Bedrock does have over Java is their cauldrons. Their cauldrons are way cooler.
Oh, yeah.
They work way better. And I'd like to see that being moved over. Like, they've had lava cauldrons for forever.
Mm-hmm.
Lava cauldrons, again, that's another cool light source to have a glowing cauldron. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, we have those now.
Well, we'll have those.
Yeah, we will.
In 117. But to improve the Swamp Hunt, have I been calling it a witch hut? Honestly, I haven't. Words are super hard.
Either or.
Yeah. More potions. And again, this is mainly for Java stuff. The fact seeing Bedrock has all these potions and stuff, that should be an obvious thing to do in Java.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know why Java doesn't have it. If we can make lava into cauldrons now, why can't we do other stuff into cauldrons? Kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also like more ingredients to be put in the Swamp Hunt. Obviously, the Swamp Hunt itself needs a redesign, needs a little update, kind of like they did in the villages. Not too much, but just a little touch. So that'd be very nice. Find an actual witch in the hut. I guess by calling it Swamp Hut, it doesn't guarantee there's a witch in there. But we all know witches be living in there.
Yeah, sometimes you catch them in there, sometimes you don't.
Sometimes, but it would be nice to,
if they're home,
at least there'd be one in there. Yeah.
They might be away out doing witch stuff.
Witchy business.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about doing a black cat in the hut. But I was thinking, well, if you're building a witch farm now, does this black cat mess with spawn rates and stuff like that? We already have that problem with iron golem farms spawning cats. So it's like, I'd rather not play with that. Suspicious stew should be what a witch eats. Give another purpose for some suspicious stew.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The final thing that I thought was the biggest thing is I felt there should be a witch's journal, just a normal book inside this hut, but one that you can't write in it, one that's already been saved and all that good stuff. And the witch's journal writes down how to make each potion in a special way. So that way, characters who are new players who are just learning the game can stumble upon this witch hut, may not know so much about potions. Well, now you've walked in a hut that's got all the ingredients everywhere. Not all the ingredients, but a lot of ingredients everywhere. Probably a brewing stand on the side. Maybe the cauldron has potion already in it. Now you have this journal that's sitting on a lectern that you can flip through and you're like, oh, these are how I make potions. These are the ingredients I need, stuff like that. And that's a very cool keepsake item.
Yeah.
And I think would go good for people who build potion brewing rooms and machines and stuff. How cool would it be to have a witch's journal with the recipes right there for you and stuff? So you don't have to constantly go outside of the game and look online. It's like, I don't know how many times I've done that.
Yeah.
I'll forget. It's like, what is night vision potion again? Is it a golden carrot or is it the glistening melon? It's got to be the golden carrot, right?
I have that trouble with the night vision all the time. It's always, I don't know. I always seem to forget how to make it. Even today, thinking about it, can't think of how to make it.
Yeah, and potions are just one of those things we don't use enough of.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to have something like that. Mainly for the memento, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm still not a potion guy. I have some, especially fire potion in the nether nowadays.
Yeah, depending on what I'm doing, I'll take some potions with me.
I just don't ever think about it.
Yeah, that's if it comes to mind. There's certain things I take potions for, and mainly, for underwater adventures.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. If I want to show a build off from a height, slow falling, be good for that. But yeah, it's just too many times where I forget that I have these potions to help.
Exactly. But yeah, that's mending Minecraft. Improving the swamp hunts. Okay, never mind. Jimbo has stuff.
I thought you were going to end it there. I do want to say, with the swamp hut, the witches spawn in a 7x9 area.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that.
No.
I built a witch farm this season, and I feel like a 9x9 or even a 7x7.
Mm-hmm.
You can even go a little smaller. This would, I don't know, it makes it a lot easier to build around.
Yeah.
I built around this thing, and it kind of, I don't know, it messes with the room a little bit. If you want everything symmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a 9x9 platform instead of a 7x9. It just bothers me. That just bothers me.
Okay.
But you might have to change the whole witch hut because it's a 7x9 type of build.
Well, we talked about the hut itself needs a redesign, obviously.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Maybe more like overgrown and rugged type of deal.
Yep. I'm loving mending Minecraft. I like how we're moving off items and onto other random things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking ahead for episode 80 because, like I said, Carl's got these things planned way in ahead. And I bet I can already guess the winner. Not going to tell you guys what it is. You'll have to wait till Thursday. Or if you're listening to this on Friday, the vote's probably up.
Yeah.
And Carl's like, Dad, stop saying stuff like that because if I'm late, now I'm held accountable and stuff. And say, oh well.
Oh, well.
Everyone looks forward to mending Minecraft.
Mm-hmm. I look forward to it.
Yeah. Especially because we can never guess which way you guys are going to vote. As much as we say we do, like I just said last week, I know, or next week, I know what you guys are going to pick. I bet I'm wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I would have picked Swamp Hut, but, I mean, the Ruined Portal and Pillager Outpost that lost this week definitely use a little improvement also. So this will be up for vote later on, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
They're not out of the woods yet.
Nope. Anyways, our topic, we've been saying it all episode, light sources.
Yes.
What's going on with light sources? It's one of those things, like last night I was trying to build a lamppost for inside my base, the bridge that spans my base.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I want to put some lamppost here and here, and I was just like, oh, nothing looks good, at least in the way I want. So it's like the light sources in game either focus extremely, or what I want to call retro, or extremely modern. And if you're looking for something in between, you're kind of looking at glowstone, sea lantern, or shroom light. Those feel like the in-between lights. Don't get me wrong, those lights are fine. The sea lantern's my favorite just because it's the easiest to blend into any kind of situation.
Yeah.
Shroom light to me is the best looking out of all of them, but kind of needs to be picked and choose where to place. glowstone's just ugly, and I will always put something in front of the glowstone. Sounds really mean. Well, and we have redstone lamp, and redstone lamps are really nice, and I think they're definitely one of the better looking light sources, but it's the fact that a redstone lamp takes more than a single block space to use, because obviously you have to power it somehow.
Yeah. Don't forget the jack-o'-lantern.
Jack-o'-lantern. I forgot about the jack-o'-lantern.
Those are probably your cheapest.
Yeah.
If you want a block light source, a full block.
Yeah.
Those are definitely the way to go for cheap, not for looks.
Yeah, if done right. If you have a pumpkin farm, it's definitely a very cheap thing to do. And to me, the way to look at fixing lighting is not giving us more options per se, even though on the surface, that's what it is. We need more options. It's to look at why we want more lighting sources. And to me, at least in my opinion, again, everyone has different opinions. Everyone builds differently. Everyone plays the game differently. For me, it's getting rid of mob spawning. If you walk through my base, you will very rarely find a single block with a light level of 9 or below. Like, everything's 10 or up, just because I'm so paranoid of mob spawning. And it's not because I'm scared of mobs and everything like that. It's because I'm scared of creepers blowing up redstone contraptions that took me an hour to build.
Mm-hmm. And you also got to consider, like, lighting things up that might be just a little bit beyond your build, because those creepers will find their way from the dark into the light where you are.
Exactly.
So you got to take account of that.
Or the Enderman. I've got a huge Enderman problem this season, and I can't figure out why. They just love my base and getting into my base, and it's very annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And I've made mention on how I would fix stuff like this with the beacon effects, and I still think that's the best way to defer mob spawning is by using beacon effects. But I kind of want to take advantage of, in the nether, we've got the different mushrooms now, right? You got the warped fungus and the crimson fungus.
Mm-hmm.
And the warped fungus kind of scares away piglins and hoglins, right? And I thought that, man, that's a really cool effect. What if there's a light source that kind of does that for overworld mobs? Like maybe the Soulfire Torch or Soulfire Campfire kind of acts that way. Kind of mobs will spawn near it and stuff, but they see it and they kind of move away from it. We have a little bit like that with creepers and cats. I think skeletons and dogs does the same thing.
Yeah.
But what if light sources could do that? That'd be kind of cool, right?
I like the idea of the soul fire doing that, because it's really, not worth much as a light source.
Mm-hmm.
Give it another action. Maybe it repels mobs.
Yeah.
Or maybe just like the undead mobs. Something.
Yeah, as much as I want more light sources and more unique light sources, the Enrod, since they've changed the base from that purple texture to gray, is an extremely useful, awesome texture. I can't wait for candles. I wish they were a little brighter, but I kind of understand why candles aren't brighter. Makes sense. The Shroom Light is another recent one that I went, first look, I went, oh, it's just a retextured glowstone. But then when you really look at it, it's a lot nicer than glowstone, and it's definitely one of my top favorites. But it's a little tough to get. Farming the nether trees is not the greatest. I found it easier just to fly thousands of blocks out from everyone and just deforest the nether.
Yeah.
I lost where I was going with this, but unique light sources is great, but functionality is even cooler.
I agree with that.
I was looking at the modded community for light sources, and I found something from a mod called Greg's Lighting Mod, and they use a floodlight which can project light 64 blocks without diminishing brightness. And I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's different.
To have one block that can light up an area like that, I think that's a great thing. And I would say make it expensive. Make it use, what is it, another star or something like that. So it's only an in-game item. I think Mojang focuses so much on early game that later game, I don't think they purposely bypass it, especially when you look at like shulker boxes and elytra. Those are later game items, and then they've changed the game forever. But later game light sources, maybe do floodlight, maybe beacon effects, something like that. just get some more functionality in there. That's the stuff I get super excited for.
Yeah, there's one thing I had on light sources, and this has been brought up many times, and that's colored lighting.
Mm-hmm.
You get a little taste of it in the RTX, but yeah, it's not implemented in the game itself.
I was thinking, I didn't want to say it earlier during the listener comment, but crystals and using the tinted glass seems like that would be a cool way to play with colored lighting also, or at least a natural way to play with colored lighting.
Yes. They say, well, with the tinted, no light source can go through it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, even like regular glass, you kind of get that. Like, let's say you have a sea lantern, you put a red glass block in front of it, you kind of get the red lighting, but it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't project that way.
No.
You could see it, it looks red-ish, but it doesn't project on your build that way.
That's all limitations in the hardware and software and stuff like that.
Right.
That's why the RTX is able to do that, because it pushes hardware and software further than normal, but it can only really do that for the Bedrock version.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it would take to do that on the Java version. I am not a developer or coder, and it could be that it will never be able to happen on Java version, which is a little disappointing, but it is what it is. But I'm with you. I'd love to see colored lighting. Whether that'll be anytime soon or not, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think they plan on giving us that.
And it's not so much that they can give us that. It might be that the game physically can't do that, at least in its state now.
Yeah. And they kind of, again, that they want you to use your imagination to do it yourself. And you can technically do it, but it doesn't look the same. The look is so much different in RTX when you have like a red light shining through the room, turning everything just a little bit red tinted. Just gives it a different feel.
It's beautiful, and I would want it. Maybe there's a shader pack that can boost that a little bit, but I understand why it's not in the game, but it is definitely one of the top requested things to be brought to the game.
Yes. Is there another light source you can think of that could be added? I mean, we got our, glowing vines. We're getting those.
Mm-hmm.
We have the lichen, glow lichen. What other light source are we getting? Am I forgetting one?
Well, I mean, we're getting candles.
Candles.
They talked about glow berries, at least in the trailer. I don't know if lichen is now replacing the glow berries or if that's still going to be a thing. But glow berries will put off light.
Mm-hmm. Are those the vines? I think those are the same.
They're the vines with the little oranges attached to it.
Yeah. Okay.
But we haven't really heard much of those from the snapshot, so I don't know if they're still in there or not. It's just pictures, just the one trailer and stuff. Remember, snapshots, everything changes. So the stuff we're talking about right now could be totally different in a week.
Yeah, it'd be nice to use those berries off the vine if you could.
Yeah.
That would give you another light source if possible.
Mm-hmm. Well, they have this little, at least in the trailer, there's this little bush that it looks like the dead bush, but with actual leaf attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could make a glowberry bush that produced light, that would be cool too. That'd be another cool, unique light sources that could maybe act like the warped fungus and repel mobs. Just saying.
Yeah, instead of actually hiding sources under your bush, you can make the bush itself a light source.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Helps hiding light sources, lighting things up.
Very much. But we're getting late on time.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be, but we rambled on a little bit. I'm so sorry, guys. It took our brains a little bit to get started today. Both me and Jimbo had to have extremely rough weeks. At least I know me for sure in the sleep pattern. I think I averaged 3 hours a night for most this week.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm feeling it.
We better wrap it up now.
But that's going to be it for today's show. Before Jimbo reads us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons who are supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are aubni, ChiefBigBear, Crock, FragileRock, ohbeep, StoneFigure, TheOfficialCCL, and viperoustuna, and YDYT. The script change. Thank you so much for our new patrons. Welcome back. If you too would like to get access to the hours of extra content and exclusive benefits each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/thewithering Struggle is real.
Yeah. If you like this show, let your friends know about our Patreon page where they too get access. That's not. I'm reading the wrong.
You should be reading it wrong.
Yeah. Well, I looked away and I was like, I know my outro. I'll just look over it this way. No, I blew it. If you like this show, you can share it with all of your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, follow us. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you would like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com. Tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord, where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links are in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer, Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be. The amazing music you hear in the intro and outro is created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found down in the show notes. You guys have been awesome, as always. Thank you so much for spawning the wither with us, or getting withered with us. See, I almost made it through the script. You should go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.